Up Internet, and welcome to On the Sofa Live Clacton Special. If you're new, do subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay in the loop. Okay, in this special live stream about the Clacton by-election, I'm going to be taking a deep dive and looking at all 34 candidates for this by-election. That's right, there are 34 candidates, and apparently that's a new record. That's a record amount of candidates for a by-election. It's crazy. So let's get stuck in. This is from the Who Can I Vote For website. UK parliamentary by-election, Clacton constituency by-election. This election will be held on Thursday, the 13th of August, 2026. This by-election was called because the elected member resigned. You will have one vote and you can choose from 34 candidates. And the first one listed is called Joseph 77. He's an independent candidate. Joseph 77 is an independent candidate in Clacton in the UK parliamentary by-election. Let's take a look at his full statement. Why Joseph 77's policies, statement to voters, I'll start that again. Joseph 77's policies, statement to voters. Why am I campaigning in Clacton, a town I used to love to cycle to as a teenager from Basildon, where I lived over 60 years ago? My name is Tom Darwood, a retired carpenter, but as you see, I shall be campaigning under the name Joseph 77, simply because my life of 3 zeros converging upon my years has conferred upon myself as a true 21st century Joseph 77. In other words, my life reflects Joseph, the only biblical figure who in effect became a surrogate prime minister. I believe if you elect me as your MP, I shall go on to become a surrogate prime minister of the United Kingdom. Oh my days. I shall campaign in song and verse. Things I have written, I'll sing and recite around Clacton to unify the country with a purpose. Let's kick off with a World Club anthem set to the tune of Onward Christian Soldiers. Oh God, I remember singing Onward Christian Soldiers when I was at primary school. Onward Christian soldiers marching out to war. Oh God. Well, this next bit is hilarious. Followed by a rebirth of the famous hymn Onward Christian Soldiers. Bloody hell. I'll have an anthem. With just an anthem and a hymn, I will have united the religious with the secular. A great step to getting our country back. Politicians. Politicians have failed to unify our country. And I hope I can show the electorate, I can. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my days. Oh God. Oh dear. Jesus Christ. This statement was last updated on July the 18th, 2026. This statement was added by Joseph 77, their team, or by a Democracy Club volunteer, based on information published by the candidate elsewhere. Okay, let's take a look at his homepage. Oh my God, this homepage is shit. Jesus wept. I present my candidacy as a personal odyssey, spiritual, cultural, theological, and now in the political arena. Same measures of its worth may be attained. Vote Joseph 77, Unity and Purpose, Independent Clacton. This is how I can inspire unity and purpose throughout the whole of the UK. Oh my God. Tom Darwood, a true 21st century Joseph 77. Is he really? And he's dressed himself up as Bob the Builder. Jesus Christ. Okay, I've read all of it. I've read all of this blurb here. I just read that. Okay, whatever. Fine. Onward, Christian soldiers. Moving on. Next up, we have Adham Al-Khatib from the Forward Party. Let's take a closer look at him. Adham Al-Khatib is a Forward Party candidate in Clacton constituency. He doesn't seem to have a statement on here. But let's see if we can look at his websites. Oh, this is a slightly better website. The Forward Party, the only UK party that addresses neglected issues such as the housing crisis, economic stagnation of wages, and the threat of wealth influence in our democracy. I'm pretty sure the Green Party addresses all of those things. But okay, go off. Manifesto. Okay, let's look at the summary. This is an overview of the Forward Party manifesto, outlining key policy areas and the direction of reform across housing, banking, the economy, work, public services, and democracy. Oh dear, I'm losing my voice here. This isn't... I've just read that bit. Key priorities. Housing reform focused on ending speculative ownership, expanding supply, and ensuring responsible credit. Full reserve banking reform and higher stable mortgage access. Economic reform focused on growth, industry, and reducing inefficiency. Labour reform to strengthen wages, unions, and a worker bargaining power. Public service reform, including pensions, welfare incentives, transport, and education access. Democratic reform to end wealth influence and ensure proportional representation. Okay, so they're pretty left-wing, I suppose. And I guess that's all we're going to learn about him, at least for now. And of course, there's Count Binface. And I spoke at length about Count Binface and his policies. And when I spoke about him when he was standing for Makerfield. And if you don't know who Count Binface is by now, then where have you been? Have you been living under a rock? Apparently, his favorite biscuit is the pink wafer. Interesting. Let's take a quick look at his homepage, because I don't think we did that last time. This is good. Which of the following would you prefer to win the by-election in Clacton? And he's got he's got the results of the recent poll. Apparently, British people were polled are asking who would you prefer, Count Binface, Nigel Farage, neither or don't know. And Count Binface, as you can see, is ahead of Nigel Farage. But I think this was a nationwide poll. Whether this will be reflected in Clacton it remains to be seen. Oh, and we've got some footage here. Let's have a quick look.
Yesterday, you may remember, we reported on Nigel Farage's decision to resign his seat of Clacton-on-Sea to trigger a by-election.
I've thought about it hard, and I've decided today I will resign as a Member of Parliament for Clacton-on-Sea, thereby forcing a by-election, which should happen, I hope, in short order. No, I've decided that the people of Clacton should be the judges of my actions. This will be a people versus the establishment by-election.
But what I hadn't fully thought through at the time was that with only one candidate standing against him, Count Binface, it is possible that Binface beats Farage.
Actually, as we now know, there are 33 candidates standing against Nigel Farage.
We are, after all, the country which voted to christen a ship Boaty McBoatface. We have a long tradition of subversive humour. And I don't know, but I wouldn't rule anything out. Anyway, this periodic visitor from another galaxy has policies which may prove popular in Clacton. Nationalising model railways, for instance, and also nationalising Adele, renaming London Bridge Phoebe Waller Bridge, and, of course, moving the hand dryer in the men's toilet in Uxbridge's Crown and Treaty pub to a more sensible position. He joined me a little earlier. I asked him, had he contemplated the worrying possibility that he might actually win this by-election?
Well, Andrew, thank you for your question. Of course, I've computed every eventuality, and there is a small, a bit like Avengers Endgame, there is a small window of opportunity within which I actually become an MP. That is something which I think the British people would find hilarious.
Yes.
The rest of humanity would find hilarious. And dare I say, I would find hilarious too.
And of course, in terms of Nigel Farage's framing of this campaign, you now represent the entire British establishment.
Yes, quite. Well, I've been waiting for this, to be honest with you, Andrew. I mean, where's my invite to the Spectator Summer Party, to the Garrick Club, to Wimbledon Royal Box, to last night at the proms? Because I tell you this, if I am part of the establishment, I'm getting NFI to a lot of the good stuff.
Very good. And in terms of your actual policies, I read out a few of them earlier on. What do you think is going to resonate most with the people of Clapton?
Clapton's in London.
I know, I'm a Londoner, sorry.
Well, I keep saying the 9 and I get it right. You've got no excuse. But, no, I take your point. You've got a lot of places to deal with.
For the people of Clacton, Clapton, or anywhere else, what is the signature policy that's going to take you over the line?
Well, this is the thing, you see, Andrew. I mean, I'm not actually on the ballot yet. You know how it works. I need to persuade 10 humans.
I think he is now officially on the ballot. I guess he evidently did manage to persuade 10 humans who live in Clacton to nominate him. So, because he is officially on the ballot now.
Who live in Clacton to nominate me. And indeed, other candidates can do that too. That's the wonder of democracy. And should I get on the ballot, then naturally I will have a fully costed suite of policies that mixes the national and the local. But you can guarantee that I'll be looking at my price capping of 99 flakes at 99 pence. I mean, it's a seaside town. Yeah. That's got to be an easy win, wouldn't you say?
I think so. I think so.
National policies, nationalise Adele, build at least one affordable house, tie nurses' pay to that of ministers, rename London Bridge after Phoebe Waller, bring back CFAX, and of course, move the hand dryer in the gents' toilets at the Crown and Treaty Pub, Uxbridge, to a more sensible position.
Yes, I think I'll leave it there. You get the gist. I don't want to watch the whole video. So, Count Binface, you know him, you love him. Let's vote for him to keep Farage out. Then there's Nick the Incredible Flying Brick from the official Monster Raving Loony Party. Nick the Incredible Flying Brick is the official Monster Raving Loony Party candidate in Clacton. Let's take a closer look. Statement to voters. We have a manic festo that includes scrapping January and February. It would help with fuel bills and the cost of living. Let's have a look. Oh dear. That's a bit amateurish, isn't it? That's his website for what it's worth. Let's see if we can look at the Loony Party website itself. Oh, that's a bit better. Manic Festo. Manic Festo for the Clacton Unfunfair election 2026. We will stand for this. We will stand for this election on the basis that it's nothing to do with the local constituents and merely a way of hiding finances for our leader. We will rename Clacton-on-Sea to Eric. Boy, it worked for Windscale. Crime is a big issue in the Clacton constituency. We will reduce it by not having so many by-elections. thus freeing up police and money for other duties. Clacton appears to have a seat in the House of Lords. Clacton is a deprived area, so we will ensure MPs will be required to stay in the area, concentrate on working full-time for the area, and not have a second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. jobs and other interests, such as astronomy. We will ban intergalactic interference in UK elections. I wonder who that's about. We will reclaim Dogger Bank from the sea. Name it Dogger Land, with Clacton as its capital. Along with the existing government policy for levelling up the north with the south, we will provide free spirit levels to all, AI to be converted to A-up, and in Scotland, to help reduce government spending, we will replace all government think tanks with a bucket. We will replace employees of the border force with GP receptionists. This will dramatically reduce the number of people getting in. To help with the cost of living, we will get rid of VAT as it adds no value. Brilliant. To help raise money for the Treasury, we will convert numbers 10 and 11 Downing Street into a hair salon, which we will call Government Cuts. We will reduce hospital waiting lists by using a smaller font. To make things fairer, we will introduce a court of human lefts. Published by Mr. Are You Serious? For Alan Howling Lord Hope on behalf of the official Monster Raving Loony Party. Great stuff. Next, we have Tony Kane, Independent. Tony Kane. We don't have Tony Kane's contact info. Can you add it? Oh, so they don't have a photo for him and they don't have any information for him. Let's see if we can. Let's see what we can find out by doing a bit of digging. Right. Yes. There doesn't seem to be anything about him. Interesting. I wonder if the BBC know more about him. They've got a full list of candidates. But it's just a list. You can't click on these names to find out more about them. Curiouser and curiouser, said Addis. Well, I guess he's going to remain a mystery, at least for now. If you guys, if anyone knows anything about Tony Kane, let me know in the comments. Woke Trump Kazi. Independent. Woke Trump Kazi online. Favorite biscuit? Too many to choose from. Blush. Let's look at his homepage anyway. Kazi sustain. News analysis listed under featured stories in the grid below. Wow. Again, this looks quite amateurish. Let me see. Cheating bully Trump gets treated to display of cheating and bullying in first 103 minutes of World Cup. Everyone, including UK's Burnham, seems to be forgetting the global carbon budget set in 2015. Record 34 candidates in shameful UK Clacton by-election, including me. England High Court might determine that Israel committed genocide in Gaza. Finally, the mainstream press is getting it. How and why the US started the Ukraine war. Britishness just changed forever. Oh, let's close that. Climate solutions, sustainability, whistleblowing news and analysis that don't cost the earth. All stories, analyses are listed in this grid. Scroll down, use the search function, use the translate function. I respect your data and privacy. Kazi writes here, and for other platforms, clients. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. And then there's William Stewart James Clacton, Social Democratic Party. There he is. And we do have a full statement from him. The statement to voters. The Social Democratic Party, SDP, Britain's party of the patriotic state, today announces that SDP leader William Clacton will stand as its candidate for the Clacton parliamentary by-election. To the constituents of Clacton, the SDP will offer the only credible alternative to reform. With a policy platform emphasizing the long-term national interest, the SDP combines pragmatic economics with a clear vision for restoring the rule of law, ending mass migration, and ensuring British control over critical national assets. Having served as SDP leader since 2018, William has overseen the rebirth of the party as a national political movement and the development of his current political program. Prior to leading the SDP, William had a 40-year career in town planning and commercial property development and has previously served as a district councillor. He and his wife have 3 grown children, and he recently welcomed his first grandchild. William Clacton, SDP leader, said, "Our political elites must stop pretending. They must stop pretending that mass migration doesn't erode the social fabric. They must stop pretending that they can underinvest forever and borrow against future generations. They must stop pretending that you can run a competitive economy with the world's highest energy prices. And they must stop pretending that reform will just go away. Nigel Farage has given the establishment a chance to put their case to his constituents. Rather than rise to the challenge, however, the old parties decided to write the people of Clacton off. The establishment is sniggering away at the spectacle of Nigel Farage against a candidate wearing a bin on their head. I don't think it's fair to say that they wrote Clacton off. They just refused to participate in this farce that Nigel Farage has started. And they're going to wait until the inevitable second by-election when Nigel Farage is indicted for for his for the £5 million gift that he failed to declare, and other activities, dodgy activities that he no doubt participated in. They're waiting for that by-election rather than participating in this circus. I don't think it's fair to say that they've just written Clacton off. It has now fallen to the SDP to take up the challenge of ensuring a democratic contest and offering a positive vision that thousands of people who live in Clacton can believe in. We know that Farage and Reform are channeling the legitimate grievances against a broken political and economic system. The SDP's challenge to Farage is that he doesn't have what it takes to fix it. Only we have the policy detail, the willingness to invest in the country, and the backbone to make the trade-offs Britain needs to survive. In this by-election, we're giving people an alternative to Faragism, not a sneering rejection of their real concerns. So there you have it, William Stewart James Clacton of the Social Democratic Party. Let's move on. Next, we have Rhys Cowan, an independent candidate. There he is. Rhys Cowan's policies. I am seeking nomination as an independent candidate for Clacton because I believe this town has the power to change Britain. Clacton is not a symbol. It's a specific town with specific people and specific problems that have been ignored. Fix things here, properly, practically, honestly, and you can create a template for coastal and left behind Britain that no Westminster memo has managed in 20 years. I am not interested in being a politician. I am interested in how we build a fair, powerful, and economically serious Britain. If you elect me, I will fight for 6 things. Work that pays, real jobs, real wages, and real training routes for young people who do not want to leave. Coastal towns should not be an economic afterthought. Safe streets, honest policing, consistent presence, faster response, and an end to the quiet acceptance that low-level crime is just part of the scenery. A high street worth walking down, rates and rents that reward independent operators over absentee landlords, a town centre owned by the people who live in it. Health you can actually reach. GP and dentistry access measured in days, not weeks. Mental health services that show up before the crisis, not after it. A coast that is cared for. Clean water, protected beaches, and infrastructure that treats the seafront as an asset, not a maintenance liability. An MP who shows up. I do not live in Clacton yet, but if elected, my presence will be felt here, and my reputation will depend on being part of this community for the long term, not a fly-in career move. I am standing because I think the people I want to represent deserve someone who says the same thing in Westminster that he says in person. If you own Clacton or you simply care about a place like it, I'd welcome your support. Yeah, I think those policies seem sound. Moving on, Glenn Charles Cummings, Independent. Cool. He looks like a cool guy. Glenn Charles Cummings online. We don't have Glenn Charles Cummings contact info. Can you add it? Okay, let's see what we can find out. Let's see. Oh. But again, there doesn't seem to be any information about him. Weird. But at least we've got a photo of him this time, so we know what he looks like. But we don't know what he stands for. So if you know more about him and you know what his policies are, let me know in the comments. Moving on. Martin Davis, Freedom Alliance. Let's look at his full statements. I am the Freedom Alliance party leader, standing to give Clacton voters a genuine alternative based on freedom, fairness, and responsibility. The circumstances surrounding this by-election should remind us that politics is about representing people, not political games. This is not a game. It affects over 75,000 people's lives and livelihoods. A healthy democracy rests on three simple principles: individual liberty, accountable government, strong local communities. As a national party with a full set of practical policies, we offer a clear, principled alternative rooted in freedom, responsibility, and local democracy. Sounds okay so far. Freedom Alliance gives Clacton voters a fresh choice. Voters deserve practical action that improves everyday life, not empty words. Local businesses are our community hub and deserve our support through lower VAT, lower business rates, and a level playing field with online retailers. Freedom means protecting everyday rights that many of us take for granted: freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of movement, freedom of expression, the choice to use cash, and the right to choose whether to use digital ID. Well, actually, Andy Burnham has promised to scrap digital ID. So that may not be relevant anymore, but we'll see. We'll see if he actually follows through on that promise. Most of these have been taken away steadily by successive governments. Enough of political games, enough of empty promises, enough of governments telling people what is best for them. It is time to restore our liberties, put power back into the local communities, and elect representatives who serve their constituents, not the party whip, by replacing career politicians with people with real-world experience. If you want genuine change, not more of the same, then Freedom Alliance offers that alternative. And let's have a quick look at his website. Oh, it says his favorite biscuit is Club. I didn't think it was going to work for a second. That's not a bad website. It still looks a bit amateurish, but it's better than the ones the ones we've already seen. Let's have a look. Martin Davis, party leader and treasurer. I retired in 2024 after a long and varied career with Lloyds Banking Group across Britain, and have since relocated from Halifax to Knaresborough to be closer to elderly family. My awareness of Freedom Alliance developed during the lockdown period when I began to question the global coordination and implications of the restrictions being reduced. This led me to connect with others who were exploring similar perspectives and to find a political party that was utterly in tune with my thinking. In my view, many of today's societal challenges stem from the constant shift towards centralized control, often presented through the convenience of technology. I am passionate about maintaining individual freedoms, independence, and the right for other people to live their lives without unnecessary interference. I strongly believe in encouraging individuals to think critically, question mainstream narratives, and find their own path in understanding the world around them. I read to explore a wide range of perspectives, including those that challenge my own views. I see this as an essential part of staying informed and prepared in an ever-changing world. Outside of my professional life, I have a lifelong love of music and have recently returned to playing the drums. I believe music and the arts play an important role in enriching our lives and bringing people together. Okay. Another faceless candidate, Andy Earlham, independent. Oh, again, they don't have any information about him. Let's see what we can find out then. Andy Earlham. Is that him? So hang on, let's see. Let's double check this. Again, I can't seem to find any information about him. I guess he's going, for now at least, he's going to remain a mysterious, faceless candidate. So the thing is, it makes you wonder if these people really care about Clacton, because if they did, they'd share the information about themselves and their policies. You'd think so, wouldn't you? Nigel Farage, the less said about him, the better. Atia Fard, independent. We don't have a lot of information about her. But let's see what we can find out from her Facebook page. Oh, there she is. And there's a link there to a website by the looks of things. Let's have a look. Okay, Atia Fard, a strong local campaigner. I'm Atia Fard, a local campaigner based in Surrey Heath. Here you can find my latest news and campaigns. I'm here to help, so please don't hesitate to get in touch. Oh, she's... So, Is this... It says on the other website that we've been looking at that she's an independent candidate, but here it says she's part of the Conservative Party. What the fuck? This is the same person. It looks like the same person. Did she leave the Conservative Party to become an independent then? What the hell? She needs to update this if that's the case. Atia Far's life has been marked by resilience and advocacy. She has been living in Surrey Heath for over 9 years, running her firm since 2018 in Camberley West. Prior to that, she lived in Farnborough, Godalming, and London, and has throughout been a strong local, national, and international campaigner. Atia has been local and a national champion for safety and security, strong economy and local community, individual liberty, and personal responsibility. She believes in family values, protection of the most vulnerable, and aspiring through hard work. One of her life-changing ideas was Surrey Heath Prepared, an initiative in response to COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, I think that's enough about her. Need to get back to the Who Can I Vote For website. Right, where do we get to? Oh, Lawrence Fox. The least said about him, the better. Tony Francis, Independent. That's a nice photo of him. Nice hat. Seems like a jovial fellow. Tony Francis's policies. Statement to voters. Whatever party you have supported before, this election is a chance to choose the person you trust to represent you. Full statement. This contest is already being presented as a political spectacle. Nigel Farage on one side and Count Binface on the other. But Clacton deserves more than a media sideshow. I'm in this race to discount the count and give Nigel a real run for his money by offering voters a serious, independent and genuinely local choice. I have known, served and cared about these communities for decades. I am standing to put local people before party interests, practical solutions before political games, and service before ego. I will listen first, work hard and be accountable. My faith guides how I serve. It does not decide whom I serve. If your usual party has chosen not to stand, if you feel unheard or politically homeless, or if you're simply ready for something different, I ask for your vote. Be heard, be represented. Yeah, a lot of platitudes there. No, a lot of style, but no real substance. No actual policies. It's just vibes. Let's see if we can find out some more information. It says that his favorite biscuit is shortbread. Yes, I like a bit of shortbread as well. There's an email address for him. There doesn't seem to be a website. Tony Francis. Excuse me. Let's see what we can find out. Right. Again, there's nothing. There's no website for him at all. So at least we know more about him than some of the other candidates we've seen so far. That's something, I guess. Robin Green. This doesn't look very promising. Again, there's no picture. Robin Green. Again, no information. Brilliant. Robin Green. Not to be confused with Robin Green with an E, who was a TV producer. Again, nothing. Zip. Nada. Zero. Zilch. Moving on then. Abby Hookway, Independent. She's actually got a statement. I know you might think I'm crazy. The only position available right now is Clacton. I've got brought up with a single mum on benefits, which really helped our family. I then got into financially difficulty. Bit of a grammar error there. When I was older, I managed to work hard at property and get financial independence. I'm a business owner, property investor, employer, and I've become disillusioned with the state of the UK. I want to help the UK become great again. Thrive, with a capital T for some reason in the middle of a sentence, to be a place of opportunity. I would stand for financial education to be mainstream, backing entrepreneurs and small business owners, housing, making sure everyone has a home, better value for each taxpayer. So just vibes. Again, no real sound policies, no real detail, all style and no real substance. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find her Facebook page. Abby Hookway. There's a Facebook page at least, and a link to her website. Let's have a closer look. There she is. Start your property journey. Are you considering property investment but need someone to cut through the noise and provide real insights into the market? With her first-hand experience and deep knowledge of the property industry, Abby Hookway can guide you towards making informed decisions for your investment journey. Hi, I am Abby. Hi there, I'm Abby Hookway, a property expert, entrepreneur, and passionate advocate for achieving financial freedom through property and business investment. With over £30 million in successful businesses and a £9 million property portfolio, I flipped my fair share of properties and businesses to create profit with performance. Excuse me. As a mum of two, coach and property mentor, I'm dedicated to helping people escape the 9-to-5 rat race and live their dream life. I don't think we're going to find anything about her policies here. Let's have a quick look at this. I've messed up, hang on. I just realized I haven't been sharing any of that. Don't. Let's see if we can start her again. I'm not going to read her blurb again. But let's have a look at her video. The stuff in the beginning.
I'm a mum from Yorkshire and I created a £7 million property portfolio.
Abby Hookway, property expert and an entrepreneur.
I was fed up with having to work a 9-to-5 job, struggling on my 2 kids, never having enough money. And it's because I realised that I'd been doing it all wrong. Trading my time for money and working for someone else wasn't going to get me financially free. So I got educated, learned how to use property as a vehicle to build wealth, built a £7 million property portfolio, and now I get to give my kids the life that I've always wanted for them. I tried.
So yeah, she's a property developer, in other words. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. There doesn't seem to be any policy, though. It's all about her property developing business. Oh, well. Let's move on. Who next? Howling Lord Hope. I'm not going to talk about him here because I spoke at length about him in my video about the Makerfield by-election, because he stood there as well. And I've already spoken about the official Monster Raving Loony Party, because they, as we saw, they've got another candidate standing in this election as well. So, Stephen Richard Ingram. This doesn't bode well. No photograph. Again, no information here. So let's see what we can find out. So, yeah, I'm not holding any hopes up. Stephen Richard Ingram. Oops. Again, just general stuff about the Clacton by-election. Nothing about him. No, nothing. Oh well, moving on. Amy Morris, Independent. Okay, we've got some information here. Amy Morris's policies. I am standing as an independent candidate to campaign for the abolition of inheritance tax. Interesting. This immoral tax punishes families at one of the most difficult times in their lives. This immoral tax forces people to pay tax on wealth that's already been earned and taxed. This immoral tax also places unnecessary pressure on family businesses and farms, making it harder for future generations to continue the work built over a lifetime. This immoral tax is unfair, unjust, and should be abolished. So basically, she's a one policy candidate. Okay, fine. Her favourite biscuit is caramel shortbread. Moving on. We've come a long way, but we've still got a way to go. Derek Norbert Morris, Independent. There's a photo of him. That's promising. Derek Norbert Morris's policies. I am here to create the new Greater Clacton. We'll make it shiny, beautiful, and rich. So, let's make Clacton greater. Oh dear. Stop the boats. Employment for youth, women, and disabled. New buses, reliable and comfortable. 6 minutes ambulance. better education, more affordable houses, beautiful waterfront with more activities. Safer, I think he means safer, streets with less crime, end shoplifting, lowering prices. Okay, but no details about how that's going to be, how that's going to be done, how all of this is going to be achieved. And I'm not sure how, as one independent MP, he hopes to achieve all these things. Okay, fair enough. Whatever. Moving on. I think from now on, I'm not going to talk about independent candidates if there's no picture, because that seems to be an indication that there's not going to be any information about these people. So the next two candidates are Michael Noel O'Keefe, independent, Martin O'Brien, independent, Nick Pelas, independent, Nick Pelas's policies. Nick is one of the few local candidates running. He has been working in the health and social care sector for over 30 years and directs theatre productions and runs the annual Colchester Film Festival. An independent local person, having lived in Clacton-on-Sea for over 10 years, his election slogan is "Not left, not right, but local." He aims to boost the high streets, build job opportunities, be a real voice at Westminster. Okay, well, no details of what that means. That's just fluff. That's just platitudes. That's just meaningless bollocks. Let's see if we can find out more about him. There's his Facebook page anyway. Whoa. No, there's a video. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, hang on. It'd help if I turn the volume on, wouldn't it? Let's hear what he has to say then.
Hi, happy Sunday to everybody. Just to say, I'm on the election campaign, as you know. I'm standing to be Member of Parliament for the constituency of Clacton, which would be a great honour. I'm one of the few local candidates running. I believe there's another two. It could be more, don't bash me on that, but I'm one of the few that's running. What can I say about myself? I've been working in the health and social care sector for over 30 years. I also direct theatre productions. I've been doing that since 2008. I run the annual Colchester Film Festival. So I'm an independent local person. My election slogan is very simple. I'm not left, I'm not right, but local. I have four aims, and that's to boost the high streets, build job opportunities, make Clacton a cultural hub for arts and creative projects, which in the long term will improve health outcomes for all, because that's what creativity is about. It's a positive vibe. And finally, and most important, is to be a real voice at Westminster. So that's all about me. Please vote for me on the 13th of August. I hope to see you there. Have a great day. Thanks for your support so far. My numbers are building up by the day, and I'm over the moon. Thank you. Let's make Clacton wonderful.
Well, okay. You've given me no new information that I haven't just read. No information about how you're going to achieve these things. No real details. All fluff. All style. No substance. But good luck, I suppose. Ketan Kumar Pipalaya, UK Voice. Nice moustache. Statement to voters. I am standing in the Clacton constituency MP by-election because I believe Clacton constituency people deserve an MP who will put Clacton constituency first. For too long, residents have seen the decline of the high street, rising antisocial behaviour, pressure on public services, unreliable public transport, and lack of genuine representation. I am not standing to build a political career in Westminster. I'm standing to be a strong voice who listens, is visible in the community, and works tirelessly to deliver practical solutions. My commitment is to safer streets, stronger public services, support for local businesses, more opportunities for young people, and real investment that benefits everyone in Clacton constituency. As leader of UK Voice, I will always put the interests of residents first and work constructively with anyone who shares the goal of making Clacton constituency a safer, stronger, and more prosperous place to live, work and raise a family. Together, we can give Clacton constituency the representation it deserves and build a safer and stronger future for our community. Again, just vibes. That's all I'm getting from that statement, just vibes. No real details of policy, no real information about how he plans to achieve these things. His Facebook link is a list of it's just a row of numbers. That doesn't bode well. But let's have a look at his homepage. A new kind of party built around what actually works. Britain has been let down by all of them. Labour promised fairness and delivered bureaucracy. The Conservative promised responsibility and left chaos. Reform speaks to real frustration, but offers little beyond anger and division. UK Voice was not built to be another version of any of those things. It was built for people who were tired of being promised the world and given very little. People who want a party that is serious, grounded, and actually accountable for what it says it will do. Not left, not right, just honest. Well, that's similar to the slogan of the other bloke that we were talking about. Three things set us apart: practical over ideological. UK Voice does not start from ideology and work backwards to policy. It starts from what Britain actually needs and builds from there. Every position we hold is grounded in evidence, fairness, and common sense. Accountable for results. We do not deal in vague commitments. Every policy we put forward is something we expect to be held to. Public life should be approached with the same discipline and accountability as any serious profession. Built for working people, not for career politicians, not for ideologues, but for the people who work hard, pay their taxes, and expect the country to function properly in return. National policies. Whoa. One, the economy, a fair economy that works for people, not just shareholders. Essential services like water and energy should not exist to generate private profit. UK Voice supports a public ownership of key utilities, targeted taxation of large multinationals, and real support for small businesses. The private sector matters, but it must operate fairly. The NHS, free at the point of use, properly funded, actually fixed. The NHS stays public and free for everyone, but defending it is not enough. It needs better funding, less bureaucracy, and more investment in frontline care. We will fund it through targeted corporate taxation and reinvest every saving from administrative waste back into patient services. Education. Education that prepares people for real life, not just university. Too many young people leave education either burdened by debt or without the skills employers need. UK Voice believes every path should be valued equally. University should be more affordable, apprenticeship should be genuinely attractive, and every school should meet the same national standard regardless of postcode. And I'm just going to skip to immigration. Controlled, fair, and efficient, because the system has to be trusted to work. UK Voice supports immigration and celebrates Britain's multicultural identity, but a slow, chaotic system serves nobody. We want faster decisions, clearer rules, and a legal route that is simple enough that people are genuinely encouraged to use it. So, yeah, we've got some sound policies at last. I'm not sure if I fully agree with them, but still, they're, at least they've got them. At least they're there. Next up, Daniel Pocock, Independent. Daniel Pocock's policies. Can the establishment stomach an Australian in Westminster? See his video at the United Nations Forum on Business and Human Rights. Another open source software volunteer died on Mr. Pocock's wedding day in 2011. Are your kids safe online? The UK is currently party to various wars that impact our energy prices and quality of life. Mr. Pocock is encouraging the voters of Clacton-on-Sea to read about his long history of work on ethics in technology, safety of children online, artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, and cybersecurity. Please see blog posts about policy and commitment to the Clacton-on-Sea community. The fellowship elected Mr. Pocock in the German FSFE on the 25th of April 2017 without realizing it was Anzac Day. These events were the origin of numerous and intense online feuds and falsified accusations in the open source software communities over many years. Among other things, he has exposed the fact that somebody internal to Wikipedia is deleting his page every time he runs for office. People need to read Mr. Pocock's reports carefully alongside the original evidence to see the truth about online culture. Interesting. Let's see if we can find out a bit more. Pocock-on-Sea campaign for Clacton by-election. July 17th, 1882 is the birthday of my great-grandfather, the Anzac hero, Sergeant Robert Pocock. He had already completed 3 years military service before the war, but when the Empire called, he re-enlisted and came to the UK in a boat. Coincidentally, 17th of July is also the date that nominations close on the Clacton-on-Sea by-election. Pocock-on-Sea. Launching the Pocock-on-Sea campaign. There were so many news reports after the previous member resigned from his post. The date of his resignation, 7th of July, coincides with the anniversary of London Underground terrorist bombings from 2005. One of his colleagues, Anne Widdecombe, was very regrettably killed the following day. Ever since then, news reports discussed the egos of novelty candidates. Even the Essex Lion was to appear on the ballot paper. I suspect it would have an equally good chance of winning. I have yet to see a single report about the real day-to-day issues facing residents of the district. In a parody of this situation, I have chosen the codename Pocock-on-Sea for the operation to unleash the Australian upon London's establishment. Okay, fine. Moving on. James Ransley, consensus. We don't have a statement. We've just got his X, the link to his X accounts and his email address. But apart from that, we don't have any information here. Let's see what else we can find out. Nothing. There's a shock. Okay, moving on then. Jerry Smith, independent, not going to bother looking him up. Kai Stevens, British Democratic Party. Kai Stevens policies. I am proud to be representing the British Democrats as their candidate for the Clacton by-election. I have chosen to stand as, frankly, the choices being proposed to the public are entirely subpar. A traitor who works in the interests of Zionism, capitalism, globalism, and a failed leftist comedian who copies the act of a dead man. By voting for Binface, you are voting for have I got news for you liberal slop politics that perpetually degrades and humiliates our nation. You are justifying a pro-immigration slop message. The British Democrats will be the only option on the paper that is serious, patriotic, and most importantly, nationalist. Oh, so it's a Nazi then. Okay, I guess that's fine. Vote for what you believe without lending your vote to crooks. Okay. And there are links to his X, his YouTube, and his email address. I think that's all I'm going to say about him, to be honest. I don't want to give him any more oxygen. John Stevens, we join EU. John Stevens policies. This by-election is not about Nigel Farage's finances, nor those of his party, which are already subject to an ongoing official parliamentary and wider procedures. Nor is it a joke. For the election is a joke in a democracy. For no election is a joke in a democracy. It's the opportunity for Clacton voters to express a judgment on the one policy preemptively advocated by Farage, which has actually been implemented, Britain leaving the EU. One which is inflicting enormous, ongoing and accumulating damage to our politics, our economy, our society and our culture. Can't really disagree with that. An historic national mistake caused in different ways, as much as by the Remainers as by the Leavers in a referendum campaign, and a mistake that 10 years later, a clear and growing majority of the British people now recognise as such. Nations, like individuals who lack the honesty to admit and the courage to correct their mistakes, are doomed to compound them. This by-election offers an opportunity for the voters of Clacton in the most direct and dramatic fashion imaginable to begin this process of admission and correction, which is so central to our whole national future. The thing is, if he wants to rejoin the EU, then there's no need for him to stand as an independent candidate. He could join the Green Party, because the Green Party, they're the only main political party that are talking about rejoining the EU. He's wasting his time, and if he loses his deposit, his money, when he could join the Green Party and helping their candidate to get in when the inevitable other by-election in Clacton happens. But that's my opinion. I am biased towards the Green Party, of course, being a member of the Green Party. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. We're nearly there. Only 4 more to go. Baron von Thunderclap. Oh, another candidate from the official monster raving loony party. I don't think we need to say any more about them. Pamela Warford, independent. Pamela Warford online. We don't have Pamela Warford's contact info. Oh, here we go again. Do. This might be interesting. This is a tweet from James Neal. Turns out Pamela Warford, an independent candidate in Clacton, is not that independent. Pamela Warford, independent candidate, Clacton. And she's replied to one of Nigel Farage's tweets there. And she's replied to Sia Youssef, who said, one of the 6 council by-elections yesterday, Reform won 2 and came out second in 2, with all vote shares of 27 to 45%. All with our very first outings in these seats, our campaign machine is starting to fire, to which Pamela replied, phew, thank goodness for Reform UK. She also replied to Nigel Farage, who said, a big win for Reform in Clacton tonight. This is from last year. To which she replied, very well done. Curiouser and curiouser. Councillor Anne Davis, to which she replied, excellent result for Frenton-on-Sea and Reform. She also replied to another tweet by Nigel Farage. He said, Reform UK will win the next general election and save our country too. She replied, phew, thank goodness for that. Interesting. There's her Twitter account. And if you look at her first tweet here, she's retweeted Nigel Farage. So she may be standing as an independent, but she's clearly closely linked to Reform. Yeah, independent indeed. Yeah, right. He seems to be a Trojan horse for Reform, if you ask me. Oh, and we've got some comments. Will is saying, bin face for the win. Who's this Nick the Brick guy? He looks like he should be picking up trash on the side of the highway. Interesting. Anyway, moving on. Marcus White, everyone is God Party. Interesting. Oops. Marcus White's policies. I am the leader of a new political party called Everyone is God. We are a radical party that seeks to empower everyone in Britain and find the ultimate solutions to all the problems we face in our daily life and country. Sorry, I'm struggling to keep a straight face. We believe politics is far too superficial and must go much deeper into human psychology, as it is human psychology and the choices we all make which create the country we live in. Everything we stand for is explained in our website. Our mission statement is empower everyone, solve everything, and fulfill every dream. Climb every mountain. We have over 30 detailed policies which explain exactly how we will do this by working with every person in Dorset. Dorset? Is Clacton in Dorset? I'm gonna have to look this up. Is Clacton, whoops, in no. Clacton, specifically Clacton-on-Sea, is not in Dorset. It is located on the east coast of England in the county of Essex. Yeah, that's what I thought. So what is he talking about Dorset for? The fuck? Let's have a look at his homepage. That's not a bad homepage, actually. It's better than some of the others we've seen anyway. Empower everyone. Our mission. Empower everyone, solve everything, fulfill every dream. We all want the same basic things. We believe all people across the world want the same basic things in life, such as love, family, friends, peace, safety, prosperity, romance, and sex, fulfillment and freedom. Put another way, all people want to empower themselves so they can solve all their problems and fulfill all their dreams. Fulfilling our dreams do not have to be a selfish thing. It is natural to want to live in a world where there is peace, happiness, wealth, and a sustainable environment for everyone, not just ourselves. Indeed, when we fulfill ourselves, we contribute to the world in the best way possible. We therefore believe our mission statement represents the simple truth of what all humans want and what we all feel in our hearts. As such, it is the unification of all people, joining governments and all people into a single force for positive change. It is the mission of everyone is God to empower everyone, solve everything, and fulfill every dream. How though? This is all very, fluffy. This is, wishy-washy, platitudinous bullshit. It's bollocks. It's just wishy-washy, sloppy thinking bullshit. I don't think I'm going to read any more of this, to be honest. And finally, Mark Wilkinson, Independent. Again, no information on this website, just a link to his X account. Let's see if we can find some more information there. Edinburgh and East Lothian. The fuck? What the fuck? I thought he was standing for Clacton and Ponsea. Vote Edinburgh and East Lothian people in the Holyrood elections to elect me as your uncorruptible MSP, who will vote as per instructed by the party members. What? What has that got to do with Clacton? What the fuck? You need to update that, mate. Come on. Mercurius comedy is off the scale. Can you please share the reel which I posted on Facebook? Oh. Whatever. He's going to lose his deposits. So, finally, those are all the 34 candidates standing in the Clacton by-election. We got there in the end. And I hope that that has given you enough information to be able to vote, if you live in Clacton, that is. And let me know who you're going to vote for in the comments below. Okay, bye for now.